To teach Shakespeare or to not teach Shakespeare? That is the question that circulates English classrooms year after year. Whether or not Shakespeare's work is relevant and effective for learning today is an ongoing debate. Fortunately, I am here today to end this feud once and for all. Using Hamlet, arguably Shakespeare's most famous play, I am going to prove why the world needs to continue to expose children to his work. Hamlet is relevant, relatable, and contains important messages from a modern viewpoint, making it an excellent segment in the English curriculum. Firstly, the ideas and topics considered throughout Shakespeare's Hamlet are still very relevant in today's society. For instance, Hamlet is obsessed with the meaning of life and the idea of what occurs after death. These thoughts are most noticeable during his Act 3 soliloquy, "Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them?" Here we see Hamlet contemplating life and death. He ponders the reasons as to why life is full of devastating obstacles, and whether death is a noble yet effective solution. If you think about it, the ideas he questions are still extremely relevant today. People always have and always will question their existence, as we will never be given a direct answer. Hamlet's unanswerable questions still haunt the minds of youth today, giving an aspect of relatability to his character. Evidently, the ideas explored in Shakespeare's Hamlet continue to dominate modernized lives. Moreover, Hamlet's character is extremely relatable to youth today, more specifically, his tragic flaw of indecisiveness. Throughout the play, Hamlet battles with the decision to exact his revenge on Claudius. His inability to reach a decision is evident after Claudius leaves the play to reflect on his guilt. In this moment, Hamlet is presented with the perfect opportunity to kill the vulnerable Claudius. However, he states, "Now I might do it, Pat. Now he is a-praying. And now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven. And so am I revenged?" That would be scanned. Hamlet contemplates the murder, but decides he needs to consider his actions more carefully. Therefore, his indecisiveness prevents him from avenging his father's death and ultimately leads to his own downfall. Speaking from experience, modern-day high school students deal with their fair share of indecisiveness. We are forced to decide our own fates from a young age, but in the form of post-secondary education and career choices, rather than whether or not to murder a family member. It is still common today for youth to consistently ponder these life-altering decisions, making Hamlet's inner battle extremely relatable. Therefore, his flaw is one that affects many youth today, making Shakespeare's work continuously relevant. Lastly, Hamlet sheds light on serious topics that still need continued awareness. One in particular is the impacts of losing a family member, as Hamlet takes his father's death extremely hard. This is evident after his mother Gertrude questions why he is continuing to grieve after everyone else has moved on. He retaliates by stating, "'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river in the Yea, nor the dejected haviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief, that can denote me truly." Hamlet's emotions after the death of his father are so consuming that he feels as though nothing he wears, says, or does can display his agony. Although since the Elizabethan era many technological and medicinal advancements have been made, death unfortunately remains relatively common. According to the Canadian Youth and Grief Network, it is estimated that 1 in 14 children will experience the death of a parent or sibling by the time they turn 18. Evidently, a significant amount of people in today's society will experience a loss similar to Hamlet's, making him an incredibly sympathizable character. The play also touches on the topic of suicide because Hamlet constantly considers ending his life. The audience is fully immersed in his suicidal thoughts during his soliloquies. For example, early in the play when Hamlet reflects on his feelings towards his father's death, he exclaims, "O God, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world." Hamlet is completely miserable and feels as though he has no purpose on earth. Unfortunately, suicidal thoughts like his have not faded with time. On average, more than 10 Canadians die by suicide every day, making it the 9th leading cause of death in the country. Shakespeare sheds light on this devastating topic through Hamlet's intense physical, emotional, and mental agony. There is a continuous need for awareness surrounding the topic of suicide, making Hamlet an important story to tell future generations. Therefore, schools should continue to teach Hamlet to students. The play contains relevant ideas, relatable character traits, and touches on important issues that still affect youth 500 years later. Now, when you get stuck in a debate on whether Shakespeare is relevant, you have some solid proof to win the argument. You're welcome.